Right now at 6, we'll see how some Joplin homeowners can apply for assistance to pay for home repairs.
And we've got a cool start to the day. Unfortunately, it's going to start to heat up as we head into the afternoon. A look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a Pittsburgh jewelry store warns of a common scam in the area regarding fake gold jewelry.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday in the 4 states, and it is August the 23rd.
Yes, here we are. Friday's always welcomed here.
Friday's always a good day.
Yes.
Pretty decent day for most folks, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you and I have both worked the weekends, though, so we've been down that road. We also understand the folks who are going, stop talking about Friday.
Yeah.
I have to work tomorrow. There is no Friday. But, you know, for those that don't, happy Friday.
Yes, absolutely.
And hopefully it's off to a good start for you. It's going to be a little warmer out there, so do make sure you are prepared for that. However, it's a little deceiving if you walk outside right now. It's downright chilly this morning for many of us. Live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Looking pretty good out there. Got some clouds in the sky. Looking good from our camera also at 7th and Rangeline. We'll head a little further south to 20th and Rangeline. And I think all of these people here probably relatively excited that it's Friday, unless they're working this weekend, and then they're probably not necessarily as excited that it's Friday as the rest of us are. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies to start our day, and then we'll have that mix of clouds and sun as we head through the afternoon and into the evening. And as we continue, it'll be partly cloudy through the evening and overnight. And as mentioned, it's going to be a little hotter today than where we have been. Hard to believe, though, we are looking at almost a 30-degree warm-up from where we are now to our daytime highs. 62 in Joplin, 63 in Pittsburgh, and around the area. Iola was in the 50s earlier this morning. All of us, at least right now, low to mid 60s. So a below normal start to the day, and we're going to be above normal by this afternoon. Kids get on the bus, about 62, mostly cloudy skies, southeast breeze 5 to 10. Holding on to that breeze and going partly to mostly cloudy this afternoon when the bus brings them home. But look at that. 91 degrees out there, and that's ahead of highs today in the low 90s. So we're not going to be excessively above normal, but we are going to be a lot warmer than where we have been across the area as we start to heat up. Temperatures are going to continue to climb as we head into the weekend, and we're looking at the return of triple-digit heat index values. Unpleasant situation, to say the least. We'll go over all those details with you, though, in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. The Neosho School District is mourning after learning the woman killed in a Newton County crash Wednesday was a longtime staff member. Authorities have identified the victim as Autumn Qualls, the librarian for the Neosho School District. Qualls was stopped for a school bus when a pickup struck the rear of Qualls' car. Now, Qualls has worked in the school district for almost 20 years, including as a librarian for Neosho Middle School. A news release from the district expressed condolences to the family and friends and says additional support from the district's counseling team will be available at Neosho Middle School. A search warrant issued in Carl Junction results in a substantial drug bust. Authorities served the warrant to a home on Roney Street. The search warrant resulted in the seizure of a large amount of fentanyl and methamphetamines. Detectives arrested 2 women, Lalani DeStefano and Sabrina Daughtry, and 1 man, Marvin Ward, from the location. All 3 were arrested on multiple warrants. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, the price of gold has hit an all-time high this week, making the precious metal more valuable than ever. But one Pittsburgh jewelry store owner is speaking out about an increasingly popular scam involving fake gold. He says he's had dozens of customers come in to have jewelry appraised only to learn it's fake. Customers are being approached in parking lots or at truck stops by strangers, given a story about how these people need money and are sold what they are told is real gold jewelry as a way to help.
The price of gold may play a role in that. It may not play a role in that. It could just simply be that because the success that they're having with people with a big heart here in the 4 states, they're preying on that.
The Pittsburgh Police Department recommends purchasing high-value items such as gold from reputable sources you trust to avoid potential scams. The city of Joplin is relaunching the homeowner rehabilitation program. It's part of a plan for continuing their community revitalization efforts. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
Home repairs can be expensive for homeowners. The Joplin Rehabilitation Program will help homeowners in specific Joplin neighborhoods with these costs.
Anytime you're able to put a new roof or new siding and windows on a home, it's going to extend the life of that home. It'll increase the housing stock.
Availability of funds will be on a first-come, first-served basis.
So if you have a need, it's best to get your application in so that they can start working on assessing your home and doing inspections.
The program mainly helps with exterior repairs, not exceeding $25,000 per home.
HVAC, roof, siding, and windows, and we're still taking applications for that.
They'll base approval on home location and an inspection of the home.
To make sure the homeowners are in the approved census tracts, and then we'll be going out and doing the inspections and assessing the needs.
This program was made possible through a partnership with the City of Joplin and the Economic Security Corporation of Southwest Area. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, the goal of the program is to increase property value and reduce code enforcement problems in Joplin. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The U.S. Postal Service is considering slowing down mail delivery to rural areas. Plus, the Democratic National Convention wrapped up with Vice President Kamala Harris accepting the Democratic nomination. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Carthage Municipal Park ahead of Sudstock 2024. Topping Nation Watch this morning. A Hail Mary won't help any player who breaks the National Football League's gambling policy. The NFL made in-person gambling policy education mandatory this year for all players from rookies to veterans. Coaches, team employees, and referees also had to attend at these sessions, which were held during training camp. In previous years, these sessions were optional. Now, the NFL's gambling policy says players will be indefinitely suspended for placing bets on games involving their team. Fixing a game would lead to a lifetime ban. Officials at the NFL say 25 teams or league workers were punished for violating the gambling policy last season. We'll get ready for a new take on snail mail. According to reporting by the Washington Post, the U.S. Postal Service is considering slowing down mail delivery to save money. It would only impact people who live more than 50 miles from a large processing facility. Now, most people live closer than that, and the move would improve service for them. The post office can't slow service without permission from its governing board. If it gets that, the slowdown won't happen before the election. Back in 2020, the Postmaster General received a major backlash for making similar changes close to the 2020 election, which could have had a big impact on voting, with nearly half of all voters casting their ballots by mail. The Democratic National Convention wrapped up in Chicago last night with Vice President Kamala Harris promising to be a president for all Americans as she accepted her party's nomination. In her acceptance speech, Harris laid out her policy vision for the nation and took on her opponent, former President Donald Trump. Harris is the first Black and South Asian woman to officially receive a major U.S. party's presidential nomination. Caroline Cummings has more from Chicago.
A historic night in Chicago as Vice President Kamala Harris accepted the 2024 Democratic nomination for president.
America, we are not going back.
Harris vowed to create an opportunity economy, push for a Middle East ceasefire deal, and revive the failed bipartisan immigration bill. The former California Attorney General also made her case against former President Donald Trump.
In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious.
Supporters at a watch party in Harris's hometown, Oakland, say the energy during the speech was electrifying.
You tear up because you know how important it is.
The theme of the final day of the Democratic National Convention was For Our Future, with the focus on some key domestic issues.
We have a duty to care for our patriots who serve our nation.
From the military to gun violence.
Our losses do not weaken us. They strengthen our resolve.
The night featured appeals from battleground state Democrats.
Kamala Harris, she gets us.
Are we going to fight? Are we going to vote?
And a former GOP congressman.
I'm putting our country first.
There were also musical performances from the Chicks and Pink. Caroline Cummings, CBS News, Chicago.
Now, former President Donald Trump fired off dozens of posts on social media during last night of the convention, and in TV interviews, he slammed Vice President Harris's speech, claiming she did not give enough specifics. Trump is campaigning out west today in Nevada and Arizona as speculation builds over whether or not independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will endorse him. Now to look at some of today's top national stories, here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are expecting some mostly cloudy skies as we get the day started. Skywatch Storm Tracker, we have some showers and storms out to our west around the Wichita area. They are expected to remain that way as they continue to lift off to the north and east. Eventually, they might clip parts of Greenwood County, but the majority of us not going to see anything. But it's this same wave that's eventually going to give us some rain chances as we head into the weekend. And we've got an absolutely beautiful start to the day. Look at the colors on that sunrise. We're going to have another full look forecast talking about just how hot it's going to get when the KOAM Morning News returns.
A Berkeley music program is working to make music accessible to people with disabilities. Erica Tarantel reports.
Julia Shanker is 23. She's been enjoying cello since the 3rd grade.
Always just part of life, you know, part of school, all of that.
Mom Suzanne says finding the right fit of instructor hasn't always been easy given Julia's needs. But Berkeley has high standards.
C minor. Yeah.
Marissa Giangregorio specializes in making music accessible, here helping Julia with the ukulele, a newer instrument for her. Her ensemble is working on a heavy metal version of Britney Spears' hit, Oops, I Did It Again.
And she has been able to really pick up on a lot of the different chords that we're doing in ukulele, especially with that metal song that has so many chords.
This is the ABLE Summer Music Program, part of the Berkeley Institute for Accessible Arts Education.
ABLE stands for Arts Better the Lives of Everyone, which is our motto.
Founded by Rhoda Bernard, the 2-week program welcomes music lovers ages 9 through late 20s at a variety of levels.
The students range from people who are ready to be on stage day one to people who are able to play their instrument, but just dipping a toe into this kind of playing together.
Grouped into bands, the students are met where they are.
All day, every day, we're having those conversations of how we can compromise and incorporate different people's interests and strengths. And it can be such a remarkable thing when you only have 2 notes that a student is interested in, and how you can build that into a song.
So this gives her a chance to practice music, playing music with other folks. What a great social skills exercise that is.
Most days there is also a performance by an accomplished singer or musician with a disability.
So they see someone at a very high level who has a disability, which I think is really important.
The point is not to create something perfect. Performances are a work in progress. something just as beautiful.
We take you, we accept you, we love you, and we want to create with you, and we want to hear what you have to say. The instructors have said this to me, and this is the kind of world we need. We need to create more places like this.
It's certainly great to see that inclusivity. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, even though we've got a bit of a chilly start out there this morning, it is going to start to warm up this afternoon and big heat on the way into the weekend. Well, there, look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:22 now on this Friday morning here in the 4 states. And we're going to start our day with some mostly cloudy skies. And we'll start to go partly to mostly cloudy as we head through the afternoon hours on our Friday. We'll have a southeast breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And it's going to be warmer today, which also means it's going to be warmer tonight. And then as we head into Saturday, and if you've been with us through the morning, I knew something was wrong with the future track because there are storm chances Saturday morning, but there was no rain showing up on this thing. So it turns out there's some extra boxes you have to go through. But there it is. So we do have that chance for some scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms in the first half of our Saturday, and then that'll begin to clear out a bit. And then we'll go into our Sunday and have another opportunity for some isolated pop-up showers and storms. So remember, on the future track, it's painting an area where the rain could be. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be raining continuously in all of these areas, but during the day and into the afternoon, we do have that chance for an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm, and those eventually clearing out as we lose the heating of the day. Look at that sunrise. Absolutely gorgeous on what is a gorgeous start to the day as well. 62 in Joplin right now. East breeze is at 5, and it's still crazy to believe we are going to go 30 degrees warmer than where we are right now for our high temperatures. Take a look. Iola, Fort Scott now back into the upper 50s, 58 in Stockton. The rest of us low to mid 60s, so another below normal start for us, but this is the last of those, at least for the foreseeable future. Again, mostly cloudy to start, a little cool this morning. Not that we're complaining about that, but we're going to warm up quickly. Low 80s by late morning across the region, and heading into the afternoon. Again, a mix of clouds and sun out there. Regardless, temperatures still at or a little bit above average as we go into the low 90s today. Some of you may reach right at 90, which is right where you should be for this time of year, but average is just not something we do a lot of here in the 4 states. As we head through the evening, partly cloudy skies. Take a look at 10 o'clock. Still upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. So that means our overnight low well above average as well as we fall back into the low to mid 70s. We'll have that opportunity again for some morning thunderstorms on our Saturday, then isolated storm or two possible in the afternoon. Pop-up storm chances continue through Monday as temperatures continue to climb into the mid to upper 90s. We'll see another round of isolated to widely scattered showers and storms as we head toward the end of next week. And the other side of this is as we heat up into the mid and upper 90s, the humidity levels are going to increase, hence the pop-up storm chances, and therefore we could see our heat index values at or even slightly above 100 degrees. So if you've got outdoor plans this weekend and next week, just make sure you're keeping an eye on those heat index values. That is a check of your forecast. Now we're going to switch over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, people who suffer from chronic coughing are often given opioids to treat it. A study by Indiana University found 20% of chronic patients were given prescriptions for cough suppressants that contain opioids. The study's authors say there may be better treatments that are less addictive and have less side effects. Chronic cough affects about 1 in 10 adults. Well, doctors say they're getting closer to a universal flu vaccine. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic report success with tests on mice. We currently have annual flu vaccines which vary in effectiveness from year to year. A universal flu vaccine would protect against all influenza strains and could be used for more than one season. Well, poor mental health can cause diabetics to experience worse symptoms. A study by the University of Michigan found the chance of chronic complications from diabetes triples if the patient is suffering from mood disorders like anxiety and depression. Some of those serious complications include heart attack, stroke, and nerve damage. It's another sign of how much your mental health can impact your physical health. Well, here's a pop quiz for parents. When should a child stay home sick from school? Educational experts say it can be hard for students to remain consistent in their studies if they're constantly out of the classroom. And even though COVID-19 restrictions have been dramatically updated since the height of the pandemic, a number of districts nationwide are still facing concerning levels of absenteeism. Kevin Uretsky takes a closer look.
With the new academic year getting underway, education isn't the only thing being spread in the classroom. With many schools reporting high levels of absenteeism since the COVID-19 pandemic, health officials are giving parents a refresher course about when to keep sick kids home.
An AP analysis of data from 40 states and D.C. shows absenteeism got worse in each state except Arkansas from 2018 to 2022.
Many districts continue to report high rates of absences, with parents more cautious about sending their kids to school even when they're feeling slightly ill. The most recent guidance by the CDC calls for the public to treat COVID-19 like the flu or RSV. Some health experts hope it encourages fewer students to miss class, even if they have mild symptoms, including a runny nose, headache, or cough. However, the American Academy of Pediatrics says children with fevers should be kept out of school. If they've been fever-free for 24 hours without the use of fever-reducing medications, they're okay to return to class.
It's good to stay up on your health and your wellness.
Medical experts say the time to take children to the doctor is...
If they're starting to sneeze more, cough more, be a bit tired, it's important to recognize those signs early, get them seen, and determine if they have caught something.
Meanwhile, regular exercise, a healthy diet, and plenty of sleep are great strategies to help boost kids' immune systems.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the public attends the estate sale of a Carthage founding family.
And we've got a beautiful start to the day, some cool temperatures, but it is going to heat up today. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, storm-damaged Quapaw announces a delayed start date for the school year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It's a finally Friday here. It's August the 23rd. And of course, something I haven't said in a minute, but we do want to thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
I mean, we always do, but we also want to thank you for joining us on KOAM Plus, because we've launched that 24/7 streaming.
Yes, which is fascinating, really.
The world has changed so much. I mean, my first tour in broadcasting years ago, we were editing from one tape to the other. I know Dow Quick's been here longer. Yes. He remembers much older days of doing the news, and now here we are, high definition, streaming online, and all these other crazy things.
Yeah.
Certainly has changed a lot. So, but for the better, because now you get news anytime, anywhere on your terms, right? That's
it's convenient.
It's
convenient, really is.
It is, and you can get your forecast anytime, anywhere. But if you're joining us live, it's because you want it right now. So let's talk about that forecast. There's a live look from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. Just a few moments ago, man, the sun was in just the right position. The coloring in the sky was absolutely gorgeous. We're still getting some of that, though, from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. Looks beautiful out there this morning, and we've got fantastic temperatures to go along with all of that as well. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking good, too, as folks get their day underway on this Friday morning here in the 4 states. We're going to start our day mostly cloudy out there, and then through the day, we're going to go a mix of sun and clouds and some partly to mostly cloudy skies. And we're also going to be warmer today, and we'll have that southeast breeze out there as well. It's going to get gusty, though, as we head into the weekend. Look at those cool temperatures. Check it out. 62 in Joplin, as in Pittsburgh as well. And around the area, we've even got some upper 50s out there, too. Iola, Fort Scott, Stockton, into the upper 50s. It is just crazy to believe that we're going 30 some odd degrees warmer than where we are now for our highs. So low to mid 60s though for the rest of us out there. Kids getting on the bus this morning contending with nice temperatures and mostly cloudy skies, about 62. And when that bus brings them home though, yeah, it's going to be a lot warmer, 91, partly to mostly cloudy skies, still a southeast breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So that mix of sun and clouds, we're otherwise expected to be dry today. We do have some thunderstorms out to our west around Wichita. Now they're lifting northeast, so a couple of showers might clip parts of, say, Greenwood County. But the majority of us, we're going to be dry today, but we do have increasing rain chances ever so slightly as we head into the weekend. We'll go over those details in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Quapaw Public Schools announced a date for the start of the school year. The Oklahoma community suffered storm damage over the weekend, including to the roof of its elementary school. Cleanup and construction crews have been working this week to get facilities open safely. The city says its plan should have the school season ready to go on September 3rd for all grades. Well, a group of students got to trade in the classroom for the campgrounds yesterday. 6th graders from the Arma School District took a field trip to 5 Mile Camp in Quapaw, Oklahoma. Kids got to ride horses, do craft projects, and even take in a zip line.
Yeah, it was like a big drop. It was a lot of G-forces, that's for sure.
We got scared. Like when you first jumped off,
yeah.
It's scary, but face your fears.
Yeah.
It's the experience, getting to come here. Not everybody has horses that they can ride or get to go zip line every day or some of the things that they get to do. So just being able to hold on to those memories that they get to have, especially bringing it into a smaller group and doing it with their friends.
Organizers say the field trip provided a cool way to kick off the school year. The 81st annual Lamar Free Fair is underway this week. Those in attendance are able to enjoy a variety of events, including livestock shows, arts and crafts, parades, concerts, and much more. For first-time exhibitors, it's a new opportunity to show off their skills and hard work.
I just wanted to show because it sounds fun and it's just a good way to just do stuff.
Well, my sister and brother would walk a pig, so my mom and dad said, you're old enough to walk anything, and I chose a pig.
The fair opened Wednesday and will run through Saturday. Well, pieces of Carthage, Missouri's history are up for sale this week. The descendants of some of the founding members of the city held an estate sale at Carthage's Memorial Hall. The Phelps are known for their extensive service to the community of Carthage. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
Although Pat and Caroline Phelps are gone, their dedication and legacy isn't. They dedicated their entire lives to the service of others.
They were on about every church committee, city committee, school board. My mom was on school board, I think, when I was in 3rd grade till well after I was married.
They both graduated from the University of Missouri. Pat earned a law degree, and Caroline earned an education degree. Learning was not a choice in the Phelps family.
So my mother was on school board from 3rd grade until after I was married. Long run education was extremely important to them. They're also on Board of Regents at Missouri Southern.
The Phelps generosity was given, but it continues to pass on.
We've had family generations here for years, so they love their town, they love the history of the town, but also their parents were like that. So it was just passed down to them.
The favorite things the Phelps loved are stored away by the remaining family, but they didn't take everything.
My father loved glassware, so there's a lot of glassware here. We've kept a lot. He loves shot glasses, and my kids were sure to get the ones back that they had given him from different countries and places they had been.
And there's still quite a few items left for those interested. Reporting live in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The sale continues today from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. If it's Friday, you know what that means. We've got Shannon Becker live in studio to help us close out the week with his big 3 news stories. And we have a hot and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Carthage Municipal Park ahead of Sudstock 2024. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with these big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning to you, Shannon.
Good morning, Elise. You look dashing, beautiful as always.
Thank you. Yourself too, Shannon.
Let's take a look at the big 3 stories this week. This is a really interesting but good story.
Yes.
This dog is at the bottom of a sinkhole. It's an area where there are actually a lot of mine shafts in between Carterville and Webb City. This last weekend, a man was looking for his own dog and then heard that dog at the bottom of this sinkhole. Webb City firefighters, Carterville firefighters got together. It took a little bit of time, a couple of hours to organize everything. Got the dog out safely. Last I knew, they were looking for the owner, and someone had said it was theirs, but I still haven't heard all the details on that yet. Our number 2 story, Joplin News First, tragedy on US 60 in between Neosho and Seneca. First day of school for Neosho, and the school librarian was killed in a crash, died instantly. It was a chain reaction crash. There was a semi that was slowing for a school bus ahead, and this pickup truck that was hauling horses began the rear of that chain reaction crash and pushed her SUV into the rear of a semi. More details you can find online. Our condolences, of course, to the family and everyone at Neosho Schools. I know are mourning. Also, our number 1 story, KOAM News Now, tragedy in Nevada. We were there live as the first Christian church in Nevada caught fire. We learn now, later, there's a man that was inside. He was suffering injuries, cuts to his hands, and also suffered smoke inhalation. He was flown to a regional hospital for care, and now there's a warrant for his arrest. His name is Keith Kaler. He's 58 years old. He had said some very confusing things to police. You can read that official court document that's been filed now in Vernon County Court. He's facing felony first-degree arson. An ATF and Missouri State Fire Marshals, we were there as they began that walk around. It's just a tragedy once again, and a lot of people are really concerned. But that church, I mean, they go on. They had service the next day. Still.
Wow, incredible.
And then our bonus story of the week, this is a little bit better, but not for criminals. 2 new canines were introduced the other day from the Joplin Police Department, and they gave us a little bit of a demonstration. It was really kind of cool stuff I got to learn, like that bite thing they get to take back to their cage. This is Max, and then also Bolt. And both officers, one, Adam Brannon, he has been a canine officer since 2008 for Joplin Police Department. So when they get that thing off the guy's arm, they get to take it back to their crate. It's kind of their chew toy for a few moments.
Like a little bone,
yeah, it's their bonus or whatever. Like this here, he found whatever he was looking for, and they give him his ball. So really, he's all excited about finding it so he can get his ball. He really doesn't care about the bad guy. I mean, he cares about the bad guy, but it's just all relative to kind of like their reward. It's really cool.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
it is.
It really
Captain
is.
Will Davis was here yesterday talking to them about as well, and it's just incredible, just the training that they go through, and then all that they do when they're working in the field as well. It's really incredible.
And that's their main number 1 goal, is to help patrol, is what they do. That's our big 3 KOAM News Now this week.
Wonderful. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for being with us this Friday morning. We're always happy to have you, and stick around. We're back with more right after this.
All right, time for some Friday birthdays in the 4 states, and we're starting with Declan Hahn, celebrating birthday number 5 in Fort Scott. Happy birthday.
And happy 8th birthday to Abrian Blackburn. It says here, love you, Princess, Nana, and Papa.
And we also have Carter Edwards celebrating birthday number 9 in Girard. Happy birthday, Carter.
And also in Girard, a happy 10th birthday to Daniel Boone.
And we've got Sailor Loveless celebrating birthday number 12. Says, happy birthday, love, Mom and Dad.
And over in Webb City, a happy 18th birthday to Garrett Mathis.
And in Arma, Heather Tedlock celebrating birthday number 33. A very happy birthday to you, Heather.
And happy 46th birthday to Tasha McCoy in Pittsburgh.
And in Columbus, Jane Ann Turner celebrating birthday number 78. Happy birthday.
And happy 90th birthday to Donna Munden in Pittsburgh.
And in Columbus again, Sue Cook celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday, Sue.
And also in Columbus, a happy birthday to Bill Casey.
And heading over to Brana, we've got Charlotte Cox celebrating a birthday. Says, happy birthday from Mom, Vance, and your family in Chanute. We love and appreciate you.
And continuing our birthday list with Danny O'Hara over in Crestline. Happy birthday.
And Sarah Maxton also celebrating a birthday today as well. Another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. We would like to have every list be great. What can they do for us to help us out?
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays at KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those photos and any messages, and to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen.
Absolutely. Let's start outside real quick. We're going to show you this beautiful sunrise we've got from our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Looking fantastic out there. Cool temperatures to go along with that. Another great view of that sunrise from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. It's looking beautiful out there. Looking good from MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline as well. And from the KDOT camera on 69 at Kansas Crossing just south of Pittsburgh. However, we talked about some storms that are out to our west and that they might clip Greenwood County. Well, unfortunately, one of them has decided to pick up just a wee bit here. So this is Butler County near Andover. We have this severe thunderstorm warning, and this is for quarter-size hail. Now, the storm here is moving northeast at about 20 miles an hour. It's not moving very fast at all, but this is part of that line that could eventually clip into Greenwood County. And since the storm has intensified, it could potentially hold on long enough, maybe have some impacts in Yates Center, Iola, Garnett, Burlington. So we'll keep an eye on this, but at this point, the severity of this storm is for quarter-size hail, and this warning goes until 7:45. So it's almost an hour from now because, again, it is moving so slowly to the north and to the east. So we're going to keep an eye on this thunderstorm cluster. It's over Wichita right now as it continues to lift off to the north and east and see exactly where it goes. But as you can see, this activity here is just really flared up just immediately east of Wichita, again over the Andover area. So Eureka, Yates Center, Burlington, Iola, Garnett. You want to keep an eye on this, and we'll keep an eye on it for you too in case it manages to hold its own as it tracks slowly off to the north and east. Outside of that, the rest of our day looks to be partly to mostly cloudy. We're going to be warmer today as well, but we should be dry as we head through the rest of today, other than these morning showers and storms out to our west, which again, we're going to keep an eye on and see exactly what they do. Then we head into our Saturday, and we're going to have an opportunity in the morning, at least in the first half of our day, for some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Now, at this point for Saturday, we're not anticipating anything severe or along those lines, but nonetheless, some rain, some much needed rain, and some thunderstorm activity possible. The other side effect here is twofold. One, we're going to continue to heat up as we go into our Saturday, and two, thanks to some of those rain chances, we're going to start to see heat index values creeping up. Could be 100 to 105 as we head through the weekend and into the next work week. Then we go into our Sunday, and we're going to have another opportunity for some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Again, the majority of us will remain dry. The future track is just showing where those storm chances could be as we head through the day on our Sunday, and as we begin to lose the heating of the day, we'll also begin to lose some of those thunderstorm chances out there. Quick look at temperatures. Again, a very cool start. We're going to be 30 degrees warmer today than where we are now. 62 in Joplin. East breeze is at about 5 miles an hour. And around the area, temperatures, we've still got upper 50s, Fort Scott and Stockton. The rest of us still low to mid 60s. Again, below normal start for the day, for a day that ultimately for many of us is going to end up above normal. Mostly cloudy skies through the morning. Again, we'll keep an eye on those thunderstorms out west. And we're cool to start, but we warm up quickly. Low 80s by late morning out there. We'll have a southeast breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We're going to have another look at your forecast as well as the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to see why woodworkers in Wisconsin are spending their weekends making old-fashioned toys.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A search warrant results in a substantial drug bust. The search warrant resulted in the seizure of a large amount of fentanyl and methamphetamines. Detectives arrested Lilani DeStefano, Sabrina Daughtry, and Marvin Ward. All three were arrested on multiple warrants. Wausau Public Schools has announced a date for the start of the school year. The Oklahoma community suffered storm damage last weekend, including the roof of its elementary school. Cleanup and construction crews have been working this week to get facilities open safely. The city says its plan should have the school season ready to go on September 3rd for all grades. Pieces of Carthage, Missouri history are up for sale this week. The descendants of the Phelps family held an estate sale at Carthage's Memorial Hall. The family's current generation says it's time to move on from some of their possessions. The sale continues today from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning outside of our area into Butler County. It's for quarter-size hail. The storm, again, moving very slowly to the north and east. If it holds together, we've gone ahead and put a storm track on it. So we're talking into our area. Eureka by 8:30, Yates Center by 10, Iola at almost 11, Moran at 11:38, Mount City by 12:30. So it's, again, if it holds together, because it is moving very slowly, but we will keep an eye on it as we go through the morning and just see exactly what it does. Otherwise, we're going to be mostly cloudy through the morning, partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. Highs warming up for sure into the low 90s. And we're going to stay mild and partly cloudy through the evening, near 80 by 10. Overnight lows well above average as well, into the low to mid 70s with those partly cloudy skies. We'll have some morning thunderstorm chances on Saturday. Pop-up storms possible Sunday and Monday. Temperatures mid-upper 90s heading into next week. Heat index values could approach 100 to 105, so just keep an eye on that. And then some additional pop-up storms possible by the end of next week.
All righty. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making a bumbleberry pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, college can be a stressful transition for students. We'll have a few tips that will help guide college students to be successful.
And our very own Shannon Becker back in the studio to share his big 3 news stories of the week. However, that will wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow. No, we won't. We won't be here. And you won't either. We'll be back here Monday morning at 5 a.m.
But we'll see you today at noon.